to wait for 5 years, defer for 5 years, as maybe 51 goes on with the vision of Kenya. It's impossible. And that is why people who have been on the trenches, like Professor, have this constitution which was supposed to help our political hygiene. How devolution, how equalization fund, how it has not been done well and it can be reviewed again, how by the issue of representation, and so there are measures. But I don't think that, you know, I was happy with where our two leaders left us when they left the debate. Both of them said that this is about Kenya. And really, you could see the emotions that I am doing this for Kenya. I'm not running to win for me.
Okay.
I am running to do something about Kenya. So those debates are very welcome.
All right.
Whether we cure it using up, and avoid trickle down, or we cure it using the ghost of BBI, but it's a welcome debate.
It has to be cured. Again, as we're having this debate, we do have cameras inside the Tallying Center, so you're not missing anything. As Dr. Joang has correctly mentioned a few minutes ago, there's drama all over, drama inside the Tallying Center, and drama outside the Tallying Center,
and in the
next
booth, yeah,
to the NTV booth, if you like. But we'd like to keep on reassuring our audiences and Kenyans at large that the process is going on and must go on. The returning officers, if they've not arrived, they're arriving. They're going through the verification process, both qualitative and quantitative. They're looking at the forms to see those are the forms that were uploaded on that public portal with the security features that they have. And then they will look at the numbers that they've come up with, see that it tallies Form 34A and Form 34B. Again, I will not attempt to say this word, constitutionalism. But it is what it is. We're learning, Raphael. I hope you do not bring up such words. But here we go. The question of why half of whatever happens with this process, we have not amended the constitution yet. There's going to be a loser, half of the country, whatever the numbers, right? What do we do with that?
I think we must constantly find a way of ensuring that everyone belongs and that we include everyone. That's why whether we are going to do it through some legal framework, which is the constitution, like has been suggested over the years, or whether we are going to have leaders who are progressive enough to learn that those who win must carry along those who perhaps didn't even vote for them. I think it's really something that we need to have a conversation about. And yes, it can be through the constitution, it can be through political leadership. But just going back, James, you asked about why are people passionate about voting. And first, I want to disagree with people who normally say that elections come and go. So you vote and then wait for the next 5 years. That is not true, because elections, first of all, elections provides us with a mechanism for peaceful and democratic rotation of leadership. So peaceful is very important, because if we do not have election, then change of leadership can be very chaotic. So that's why we need to take election very seriously. Two, election is not just another process. It's not just another event. And you've heard people saying, voters have done their work, they should now go back and continue with their business. No.
Are you suggesting that all of us should come, all 14 million of us should come to Bomas of Kenya?
People have said that. People have said that I want to guard my vote. James, why? Because people have voted in the past, but their vote didn't mean anything. So people are saying, look, I want to make sure that my vote means something. If I vote for A, I want to make sure that my vote is not given to B, C, or D. I want to make sure it is given to A. Where I was born and brought up in Korogosho, I used to see that after people voting, when the ballot boxes were being taken to the tallying center, they didn't leave it to IBC or ECK that time. They didn't leave it to a few individuals. They would escort those ballot boxes to the tallying center. They would stay outside there until the counting is done. Why did they do that? Because they wanted their votes to mean something. So when, and that's where I disagree a little bit with Daktari when he says people, people shouldn't shout, or if you see something going wrong, if you see something that is not right, people have a right and a responsibility to say something and to do something, because they want, we come from a history where your vote didn't mean anything. Now we want to ensure that moving forward, and that's the future that we want, that your vote means something. If I vote for A, let it be for A.
Here's the thing.
Let it not be changed.
Yeah.
Remember, IBC does not vote. While they have the mandate as stipulated in the Constitution, chapter 14 and of course 15, the vote belongs to the people. And so while they have, we've tasked the IBC with the mandate of facilitating election, we still have to be vigilant. We need to hold them accountable and ensure that nothing goes wrong in between where we have voted and where the votes are being counted, being tallied and being verified.
Very well said, Raphael. But we've seen throughout the last 4 days or 5 days, there's no politician, very few, who have lost this and say it was nice, well and good. There's always, something happened, you know. Some polling stations, they did not submit the results correctly, you know. And these sort of remarks, you know, with all well intentions, they don't help us to make sure this democracy is perfect, right? Because we're sort of projecting the idea that it's impossible for your candidate to lose, right? That I voted for Governor X, and it's possible for them to lose, right? And it's fine and accepting that when that happens, the elections might have a bit of problems here and there, but by and large, it was good. Yeah. We don't seem to speak about that a bit more.
Yeah, I think I don't know why the rest of the panelists are not saying this.
Please say it.
In this country,
this is why I came to you.
We have made politics very lucrative. It's a business in this country. Ask any young person outside there, why will they want to get into politics? It is the tokens that come with politics. The political class have then gone ahead and given birth to now another class of people called entrepreneurs. So you see, it's a whole chain, a value chain where only a few people benefit from it, instead of the whole population benefiting from what government has to offer. You see, governments are by and large the biggest service producers and the biggest good consumers of goods. So when people are in power, then they can share positions as they want. We've had these discussions where people have even given themselves positions already. Like we know, if this Mrengo takes power, then this is how positions will be dished out. And this has even been told on TV by both sides of the political divides, that if we win, so-and-so will be minister for this, so-and-so will be this. We need to make politics as unlucrative as possible in this country.
How do we do that?
First of all, let us cut salaries of politicians. The wage bill that parliament consumes in this country, it's massive. And I loved what the Salaries Remuneration Commission was doing the other day. Why do we have to pay parliamentarians sitting allowance? We should cut that to articulate issues of Kenyans. Let us do away with that. Why do we give them car grants instead of car loans? Why do we have a politician being protected that much? If the people voted for you, why do you need that much protection? If the people are the ones who actually gave you that responsibility of articulating their issues. So let us make politics unlucrative, so that when in other places in the world, people don't get into politics to get rich. They get there so that they can articulate issues. And maybe to give this example, while Obama was leaving office, we can fact check this. He was worth only 1 billion Kenyan shillings. Very small amount when it comes to US dollars. An MP for 5 years in this country translates into a billionaire after the 5 years. You can see even the tokens that they are given now when they want to exit office. So we make politics, we need to demystify politics in this country. And for once, we need to start having politicians going into the business of politics and not businessmen going into politics.